Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Mal and I make tumbler tutorials here on YouTube. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making a tumbler dedicated to my favorite beverage of all time. I'm sure most of you know by now, I am a self-proclaimed coffee girl. I love a good cup of coffee, and we are going to be making a tumbler that is centered around the coffee theme. Now, this color story is also inspired or really powered by the KSRESIN monthly challenge. If you didn't already know, KSRESIN every month will give you a color palette, and you have to create a tumbler using all of the colors in that palette. So here's the palette we're going to be using. And luckily, when I looked at this palette, I was like, at first, I don't know what I'm going to do with these colors. I really like all these colors, but how am I going to put them together in a design? But then I was going through my pattern vinyl and I found a sheet from Peachy Olive Glitters that had all the colors in it. So then I was like, bing, I know exactly what I'm going to do. This covers all the colors and I can work off of this pattern vinyl with my glitter and come up with a really cool design. This was really fun to do and I really hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. You know the drill. If you do like the tutorial, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. And if you'd like to be notified every time I upload a brand new video, you can hit the bell notification icon as well, and you'll just get a little YouTube notification every time I post. I will have a full supply list of everything I'm using in this video down below in the description box. I will also have a link to the KSRESIN Facebook group if you want to go and join that and enter the future monthly challenges. If you win the monthly challenge, you win a free gallon kit of epoxy. So be sure to join their group, follow them on Instagram, and you can enter the challenge and maybe win some free epoxy. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go.
All right, so we're going to jump right in with a 30-ounce skinny mug from Craft Haven, and I'm going to be using this sheet of pattern vinyl. This is from Peachy Olive Glitters. The name of it is Black Like My Soul. And when I saw this sheet of pattern vinyl and I compared it with my color palette, I was really excited because this has all of the colors that we need to hit in our palette for this challenge. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a V-split design here, but we're working on a cup that has a handle, so we have to kind of strategically navigate around that handle. If you use a cup that doesn't have a handle on it, this will probably be like 9,000 times easier. I want my V split or my V shape of my pattern vinyl to come down on one side of the mug. So when you are holding the mug in your hand, you are like facing that upside down triangle, if that makes sense. So I'm going to fold my vinyl in half. And then from here, what I really need to figure out is the angle at which I'm going to cut it, because my goal here is to have the point of the vinyl not past the bottom of the tumbler, but I also want the vinyl to wrap completely around the top rim of the cup. So this took a little bit of finagling, and once I had it where I wanted to cut, I took it in my little paper slicer here and I just cut that triangle shape out like you can see. And now I'm going to place it around my cup and kind of position it where I think it will be best. So like I said, now we are navigating around that handle, so we can't do this exactly. We're just going to kind of have to estimate and make sure that things are going to work. But once I've got it placed pretty much where I want it, I'm going to take a piece of blue painter's tape and tape the vinyl down to hold it in position. And then I'm going to take a pencil and just mark on the opposite end of the vinyl where it will intersect with the handle. And I'm going to cut that beforehand just with my craft knife. Be very careful when you do this. I just want to have those slits in my vinyl pre-cut so I can just wrap that vinyl around and not have to worry about it later on. Once everything's ready to be actually laid down on the tumbler, I'm going to take another larger piece of blue painter's tape and tape down one almost complete edge of the vinyl. Now this is just to keep it in position. We are going to have to lift up a little bit of that tape to get the backing off, but this will help us kind of keep everything in the correct place, keep the angles and everything right. And from here, I'm basically just going to apply it to my tumbler the same way I would any other sheet of pattern vinyl. I'm going to use the felt edge of my squeegee and just push the vinyl onto the cup very carefully. I'm really taking my time here. And in the process, I'm going to push back the backing, revealing the adhesive. So just take your time, make sure that you don't have any bubbles or crinkling or anything like that in your vinyl. Using the squeegee really has helped me cut down on bubbles like major big time. So once I get to the place where I've got my handle, since we've got everything pre-cut, we can just remove that blue painter's tape and then lay down each of those little flaps that we have individually and make sure that everything looks as seamless as possible. All right, now that we've got our vinyl placed on our cup, we can go ahead and build the stripes for our mega glitter V-split. I can't think of a good name for this design style, so if you have a good name idea, drop it down below in the comments, but I really don't know what to call this other than mega extra large V-split. So let me know what you think. Okay, so anyway, we are going to take first some chunky blue painter's tape here, and we're going to tape off the edges of our vinyl. This is mostly just to help me differentiate where the vinyl begins and where my glitter striping is going to begin. And I'm going to use this orange tape. This came in a huge bundle on Amazon. This is, I think it's about a ½ an inch thick. Just like orange painter's tape, really. It's super cheap, very easy to work with. I'll have the whole pack linked down below in the description box. And basically what I'm going to do here is just tape off a bunch of small little V or triangle sections. So I'm going to follow for my first line, I'm going to follow that line of blue tape that I already have down, just being really careful again around that handle. It's a little bit difficult to navigate, but you can do it. And then I'll go around the other side and create that upside down triangle. And then I'll take my next line of tape and I'll just line that next piece of tape right up against the edge of the tape I laid down previously. And I'm just going to repeat this pattern until I've filled up the entire remaining area of the tumbler with these little V line shaped triangle things. Now that I've got everything taped off, it's time to figure out what order I want to lay my glitters down in. So I've got a whole bunch of glitters here. These are all from Peachy Olive Glitters. So I've got Galadriel, or I don't know how to say that. I just say Galadriel. Renewed, Old Friend, Sweater Weather, War Eagle, and Parabatai. And I'm going to count my stripes here. I've only got 6 glitters picked out, but I ended up putting down 8 stripes, and I don't want to repeat any colors, so I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 more glitters. Now this will depend obviously on the size of tumbler you're using. Again, I'm using a 30-ounce skinny mug, so if you're using a 20-ounce, you might not have to pick as many glitters or have as many stripes, but it all depends on your tape, your size of cup, and all of that. So the 2 extra glitters I picked were Sophia and Cold Brew, and I'm just trying to stay within that same kind of color story, matching everything to the pattern vinyl and to the color palette for the KSRESIN challenge. So what I'm doing here is just laying out the glitters, figuring out which order I'm going to put them, or kind of like have an idea of where I'm going to put them. I think as I was going, I mixed this up just a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have all my light colors next to each other and all my dark colors next to each other. Because all of my glitters are in kind of the same set of color families, I'm only going to mix up 3 bases. So I've got navy blue, a tan color, and white. And I'm going to mix each of those with the Crystalac glitter glue, and I will just glitter as I go. I'm going to glitter every other shape so I can have the tape edges to help keep everything really clean. And as I peel up the tape, I'm going to trim the little overlay of the tape layers underneath. So I'm just going in with my craft knife and getting rid of those little tails from the tape where they overlap, if that makes sense. So I can peel that up and have a really clean line, like a really clean stencil for me to go in and glitter each of those triangle or V split shapes. I'm going to glitter the bottom of the cup and the handle of the cup the same color that we used for our very last, very bottom smallest triangle. So I'm going to take some electrical tape and just tape off the bottom of my tumbler. I don't want to get any glitter or anything down there before we obviously go in and intentionally glitter it. So I'm just going to very roughly tape this off, and we will worry about it at the very end. All right, now it's finally time to go in and paint and glitter these sections. I'm going to start with my darkest colors first. So I'm going in with my navy blue here, and I'm going in on this is technically my second triangle, the first one of this set, but I'm going to go in and base paint that with my navy blue and glitter glue mixture. And then I'm going to glitter this using Renewed. Again, these are all from Peachy Olive Glitters. I will have a full list down in the description box below, along with a link and discount code for you. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with a chip brush, brush off any excess glitter, and then I'm going to move on to my next step. So I'm going to do this in between every single glitter color, try to get off as much of that excess as I can, because I really don't want these colors contaminating or mixing with each other too much. So just try to work as cleanly as you can. The next color I went in with is War Eagle. This is a really beautiful chunky mix. I love this one a ton. So again, brushing off any excess, trying to keep it as clean as I can. And then moving into the next color, this one is Old Friend. After those first three glitter colors were laid down, I'm going to go through and remove all of the remaining tape from my cup. When I get to the bottom, because I taped off that bottom over the tape that I already laid down, I'm going in and just kind of trimming that off so I can pull up that tape while keeping the electrical tape on the bottom. But I'm going to peel up all of that tape except for that very last triangle at the bottom, and then I'm going to go in and just continue to glitter them. So that one I didn't record, but it was Sophia. And then the next one I'm going in with, I'm just using the same base paint. Again, this is just that beige acrylic paint mixed in with the glitter glue. I'm going to paint my next little section, and this one I'm going to glitter with Cold Brew. So now all of our darker colors are done, and we can move into our lighter colors. Now the color that butts right up against the pattern vinyl is going to be our lightest. That's going to be our white. So I'm going to base coat that with just one coat of regular white paint first, so we can get maximum coverage over the stainless steel. And then I'm going to move down to the bottom of the cup and just go in with the plain glitter glue, so we can use the stainless steel just as the base for this one. And now that I've got that bottom triangle painted, I'm going to remove all of the remaining tape from the bottom of the cup so we can fill in the bottom of the cup and the last remaining triangle. But before I do that, I am going to glitter our very first largest triangle section. So I'm going in with a mixture of white acrylic paint and the Crystalac glitter glue, and then I'm going to glitter that with our Parabatai, remove my blue painter's tape, and then I will be able to finish off the bottom of the cup as well as the handle. So now for the bottom, we are going to wait for everything to dry so that we can tape off that Galadriel glitter section. Make sure we don't get any of the sweater weather glitter there. I don't want to contaminate that, so I'm going to let that dry. And once it's dry, we can take some blue painter's tape and just tape off those edges very roughly, just to make sure we don't, like I said, contaminate that color. I am using a bit of a darker base on this. This is like a chestnut brown acrylic paint mixed in with the Crystalac glitter glue. So I'm going to paint that very bottom triangle, and then I'm also going to paint the very bottom of our cup. And now before I started painting, I forgot to tape off my handle section. So I base painted this, and then I went and taped my handle off so I could base paint and glitter that. I would recommend doing that before you start painting. It just makes things a little easier, but I taped everything off and then painted the handle. And now I'm going to glitter everything using Sweater Weather. Once I've got all my glitter on my cup, I'm going to immediately remove all of that blue painter's tape, and then I'm going to set this aside and let it dry overnight. I want to make sure that everything is totally dry before I go in and seal everything. All right, once everything is all dry, I'm going to go over everything one more time really quick with my chip brush, just brush off as much excess glitter as I can. And then I'm going to go in with a mixture of the Crystalac glitter glue and water. This is a 50-50 ratio. I use this mix when I'm sealing my glitter, not when I'm applying it. When I'm applying it, I just use the regular straight glitter glue. But to seal, I like to mix it with water. It just makes the glitter glue go a little bit further. It's a little bit easier to use to seal. So I sealed individually every single glitter section, let that dry for 2 hours, and then I went in with 2 coats of epoxy. I used KSRESIN. And once the second coat was ready, I did all of my sanding, got my cup as smooth as I can get it, and now I'm going to go in and stripe all of my little glitter sections out. So I am using the textured metallic vinyl from TeckWrap Craft. This is the color Champagne. As you guys know, this is like my holy grail vinyl. I love this so much. I use it for everything. So I'm going to just go in and line basically every section of glitter that I have here. I cut these stripes out at 0.1 inches wide, so they're not super thin, but they're also not so thick that they're going to take away from the glitter. Really what we're doing is just cleaning up our lines, making everything look really finished and professional. So I'm just taking this really slowly. You can see I'm just following my glitter lines here. It was a little bit difficult to get this to line up and look like a straight line around the handle. Again, if you don't use a handled tumbler, this will not be an issue for you, but I always like to make things just a little bit more difficult. So I'm just going to finagle this around the handle, and then we will continue outlining all of our glitter colored triangles with the same vinyl. After all my striping was applied, I went in with my final 2 coats of epoxy, and we are all done. So here is the final result. I really love how this one turned out. I love the color scheme, and I might have to just keep this for myself because I will absolutely drink 30 ounces of coffee every single morning. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it inspires you, if you recreate this design, please be sure to tag me in your photos at Made by Manny and Mal. I would love to see what you guys create. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching my video and supporting me. You have no idea how much it means to me. I really, really love you guys so much. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you. For real. Bye.
I don't know what to say next. Like, you know, what are they talking about? Wouldn't be the worst thing doing something.